I woke up to a scream so sharp it sliced through the walls of our house like glass shattering in the dark. My daughter's scream. In that split second, I knew something was terribly wrong. I bolted out of bed, my heart racing, and sprinted down the hallway. When I pushed open her door, the sight that met me made my stomach drop. Kayla, my beautiful teenage daughter, my baby, was sitting upright in bed, her blonde hair scattered across the pillow like fallen feathers, and her head was completely bald. She was clawing at her reflection in the small mirror across the room, sobbing so hard her whole body shook. Ma, look what she did! Look what she did! My knees almost gave out as I rushed to her. I couldn't even process what I was seeing. Her hair, her long golden hair she'd been styling for weeks for prom night, was gone. And prom was in 8 hours. This was supposed to be her night, the night she was crowned queen, the night she'd remember forever. Now it was ruined. Her sobs cut deeper into me than any knife ever could. And then I heard it. Her broken voice whispering through tears. Ree did this. My little sister shaved my head while I was sleeping. Kayla's words echoed in my ears. Ree? My youngest? My sweet, quiet, bookish little girl? I turned toward the doorway, and there she was. Ree stood frozen, clippers still in her hand, her face pale, but her jaw set firm. For a moment, none of us moved. The only sound was Kayla's ragged sobs. Then Kayla lunged at her. How could you do this to me? You ruined my life. I pulled Kayla back, tears streaming down her bald head. But Ree didn't flinch. She didn't cry. She didn't apologize. She just looked at me and whispered something I'll never forget. I had to, Mom. I had to stop her. She can't go with him. Steven is dangerous. At first, I thought I'd misheard. Dangerous? Steven? Kayla's boyfriend? The boy who'd been coming around for months, charming as ever, smiling at me, shaking my husband's hand, promising to take care of our daughter. Kayla screamed louder. She's lying. She's jealous. She ruined my life because she can't stand to see me happy. Before I could respond, a knock thundered against the front door. My heart sank. I already knew who it was. Steven. His voice boomed through the door. Kayla, baby, what's going on? Why are you crying? Open the door. Kayla's eyes lit up with desperation, like a drowning child reaching for a lifeline. She bolted toward the hallway, but Ree blocked her path, clippers still in her hand, trembling but firm. Don't go to him, she hissed. He's not who you think he is. The house was electric with chaos. Kayla sobbing, Ree standing guard, Steven pounding at the door, and me, caught in the middle, trying to piece together a puzzle I hadn't even realized was on the table. Ree's voice cracked, but she didn't back down. Mom, please. He hurts her. He's been hitting her. He's been planning something horrible. Kayla froze, her tears momentarily silenced by shock. Then she snapped back, her voice sharp, defensive. She's making it up. She's obsessed with ruining my life. But Ree wasn't done. She dropped the clippers, reached into her hoodie pocket, and pulled out a small recorder. My stomach clenched as she pressed play. Static. Then, Steven's voice, clear as day. She's too stupid to notice. After prom, I'll slip it in her drink. She won't even remember a thing. I'll get what I want, and she'll think it's her fault. My blood drained from my face. Kayla's body went rigid. No, that's not him, she whispered, shaking her head violently. That's fake! You made that up! But Ree wasn't done. She lifted her sleeve, revealing faint bruises on her arm. He did this when I tried to protect her last week. He threatened me. He said if I told anyone, he'd ruin all of us. Tears blurred my vision. I turned to Kayla, desperate. Sweetheart, is it true? Has he been hurting you? She crumbled then. Collapsing into my arms, between choking sobs, she whispered, I didn't want anyone to know. He said he'd hurt you. He said he'd kill Dad if I told. My world tilted. Rage and terror twisted together in my chest. And outside, Stephen's voice grew sharper, angrier. Kayla, open this damn door right now! My husband appeared then, storming into the hallway, fists clenched. Get away from my house, Stephen, he bellowed. But Stephen only laughed from outside. You think you're in charge? You don't know what I've got on you. One wrong move and everyone will know. The color drained from my husband's face. My knees weakened. What is he talking about? I demanded. My husband's voice was gravel. Months ago, I caught him shoving Kayla against a wall. I threatened him, told him if he touched her again, I'd kill him. He recorded it. He's been blackmailing me ever since. The air left my lungs. My daughter in danger, my husband trapped, my youngest forced to shave her sister's head just to keep her safe. This was no teenage drama. This was war inside my own home. Stephen's pounding grew louder, more violent. I could hear him jiggling the door handle, testing its strength. My husband braced himself, ready for a fight. But Ree, my brave, brilliant little Ree, grabbed the phone and pressed 3 simple numbers. 911. Hello? Please, you have to come fast. My sister's boyfriend is trying to break into our house. He's dangerous. We have proof. He's planning to hurt her. For the first time that night, I felt a sliver of hope. Sirens in the distance, blue and red lights painting the walls, officers storming our lawn, pulling Stephen away in handcuffs as he shouted threats. Kayla clung to me, bald head pressed against my chest, shaking. Ree stood beside us, still trembling, but her eyes were steel. And in that moment, I realized the truth. Ree hadn't ruined her sister's life. She had saved it. The police didn't just take Stephen away that night. They took statements, collected Ree's recorder, and photographed the bruises on Kayla's arms. But the real nightmare wasn't over. It was just beginning. At the hospital, under the harsh fluorescent lights, doctors documented 17 separate bruises on Kayla's body, some fresh, some fading, proof of weeks, maybe months of abuse she'd hidden from me. I sat beside her bed, clutching her hand, guilt crushing me like a stone. How could I not have seen it? How could my daughter suffer like this under my roof while I looked the other way? A social worker came in, gentle but firm, with eyes that seemed to carry the weight of every broken family she'd ever seen. You're not alone in this, she said. We'll protect her. We'll protect all of you. But as she spoke, a storm was already brewing. Stephen's father, wealthy, well-connected, a man who thought money could erase any crime, showed up with lawyers. He tried to intimidate us, twisting everything into lies. Your daughter shaved her own head for attention. My son is the victim here. If you pursue charges, you'll regret it. I stared him down. Every ounce of fear burned away by fury. My daughter is not your son's toy. She's not his victim anymore. And if you think threats will silence me, you've picked the wrong mother. For once, I saw it. The flicker of uncertainty in his eyes. He wasn't facing a frightened family. He was facing a mother who'd burned down the world before letting her daughters be destroyed. The days that followed were a blur of police interviews, court filings, and whispered nightmares in the middle of the night. But with every step, we fought back. The court granted an emergency restraining order. Stephen couldn't come near Kayla, or any of us. And then the final piece of proof. The police searched his car. Hidden under the seat, they found a small plastic bag. Pills. Rohypnol, the same drug his voice on that recorder had mentioned. That discovery changed everything. Stephen wasn't just a manipulative boyfriend. He was a predator, a criminal. The arrest was swift, the charges heavy: assault, possession, attempted sexual assault, and blackmail. And when we walked into that courtroom, heads held high, Ree's recording and Kayla's bruises spoke louder than any lawyer ever could. Stephen tried to smirk, tried to stare Kayla down, but for the first